Hey everybody, Nathan Pomedy again. Today we're going to talk to you about Flipgrid, which is a great new tool that allows for teachers and students to engage in a video learning, communication, and checking for knowledge and understanding, kind of a different way of doing that. And so if you go to flipgrid.com, you'll come to this page. Once you've created an account, you can log in through the teacher login. But for us, we're going to start off with signing up and creating an account. So in the top right corner, you're going to click on the sign up for free. Once you do that, it's going to bring you to this page. And all you're going to do is enter your information, first name, last name, email address, the password you want to create. For the free version, you're going to keep it here. The paid version, is an option, but it costs a lot of money. So for now, free version, you're going to select the level that you teach, so middle school, the school, Franklin, and the subject in which you teach, for me, technology. Once you're done, you're going to click on Create My Grid, and then that's going to bring you to this screen, and this is where you're going to get started. And so with the free account, you only get one grid, but you get unlimited topics. So it's important that you're kind of generic or basic with your grid. Okay, so in most cases, I would just say, you're going to use your name. So for me, I would just say, Mr. Pomedy's Flipgrid. Okay, and then you get your unique grid code that you can share with people in a Google Classroom or in Blackboard or however you interact with your students. Okay, if you wanted to just do a brief description of what this Flipgrid was going to be used for, what your goal or outcome was for using Flipgrid, you could put that there. You could also leave it blank. There's three other sections that you'll then have to fill in. The security and privacy, so you can set a password. So for me, I'm going to set a password. It's going to just make sure that only the students that I want to get in can get into this Flipgrid. Okay? You can share the link. This will allow you to share it in Google Classroom or in other places for easy access. So I will usually leave that there. Grid followers, I'll usually leave that unchecked. Allow for downloads. I usually won't allow students to download their videos, but that's completely up to you and kind of what you're using Flipgrid for. There may be a purpose to use that. You may want them to record a Flipgrid and then do something else with that video later on. Okay? In which case then allowing them to download would be necessary. Notify me. A lot of people probably get overwhelmed with notifications, so this might be a place that you want to turn this off. But for me, I like getting those notifications and knowing kind of what's going on. Kind of reminds me that I need to go back and check periodically. Okay, so notifications. So there. Transcript, I usually keep this turned off. Tries to transcribe the videos that the students record. But I find that it doesn't do the greatest of jobs, and then you have to go back and correct the videos or the transcripts, so I usually just keep that turned off. If you're done with a Flipgrid at any time, you can change it from active to inactive, but obviously when you're starting off, you want to make it active. Okay, and then you can customize it, so kind of the background of your Flipgrid. So there's the featured pictures here, you have nature, and you have some options, you have people, and then you have textures, and the one that I like a lot is right here, this little dock here, pretty awesome. So you'll do that, and then your grid is created. So you'll just go down and you'll press Create Grid, and voila, you're done, you're ready to go, and now it's time to select your topic. So you get unlimited topics, if you remember, and there's 6 sections you need to fill out here. So for your flip topic, again, you want to start off with kind of a broad idea and then kind of narrow it down through the topic. So kind of a broad title, and then maybe your question or your thought or your idea that you are trying to get out there to students or that you want students to convey to you. So I'm just going to do let's do my Flipgrid is the topic, and then let's say my question would be, how would you use Flipgrid? Okay, and so you can set up, once you've given your topic, okay, you've set up the date that you want it to be available. You can set the date to be a little bit farther in the future if you want. Okay, but we'll leave it for today. You have two options for time with a free version. You can either do 15 seconds or a minute and a half, and it's just determining kind of what you want from the students. If it's just something really short and sweet, 15 seconds is probably going to be more than enough. A minute and a half is actually a lot of time, especially if they have a script or have been prescribed to do something. So, but those are the two options. Okay. You have your question here. You also don't have to put anything in this section. You don't have to put in a question if you don't want to. You can, in section 3, we'll go over other options that you have for kind of posting assignments or questions or things you want them to discuss or talk about. Here, status, so you can freeze the account, so you can make it active, frozen, inactive, depending upon, if you're done with this or if you're done for the moment but you want to revisit it later. You can kind of change the availability of that course. This area you cannot change because it's for the paid version. Okay, so just once you've set it up to launch, then it's launched and it's ready to go. So here's where I was talking about, instead of writing a question here, you could leave this blank and you could record a video where you're asking your question or what you want them to think about or what you want them to do within a Flipgrid. Maybe you've recorded a video previously and now this is a new platform that you want to use that video for. And so you could upload your video. Maybe there's a video on YouTube that you think is great that you think could engage your students and you want them to watch that video first before having a conversation or giving their feedback or their thoughts. So you could upload a video, could upload an image, upload a GIF, or you could add a emoji. Okay, and so all those things could be added up to the top, and you'll see that when the topic is done. So you have a bunch of different options other than just writing down a question to engage your learners. Okay, you don't have to do any of that either. Okay, but for me, I'm just going to do something real quick. I'm just going to do an emoji. Okay, and then after they're done recording their video, they are going to take a picture of themselves, and this is kind of where it gets Snapchat-ish, if that's even a word. They'll take a picture, and then you can give them the options of they can put stickers on, and they can do drawings, or they can only do stickers, only do drawings, or maybe you just want them to take a picture and they're done and you move on. You don't want to have them waste all this time, your instructional time, with doing all this decorating. Okay, so that's completely up to you and what you want to do with them. I usually leave stickers and drawings. Okay. And then you can allow for students to provide feedback, okay, or reactions on responses using emojis, likes only, so kind of like Twitter or Facebook, or nothing, or you don't want them to respond at all. And again, that's really up to you and kind of what you're using Flipgrid for, okay? So I'll leave emojis on, and then you can change it to public, private, or none. Okay, so public is everybody can view it, private is only you can view it, and none is that nobody can view it. So in most cases, public is probably what you want, so then that way everybody in your class can kind of see and collaborate and communicate. But there maybe it's a question that you're asking that's kind of a private or a personal question that you don't want others in that class to look at or respond to. So maybe private might be a better option. Okay? And then here you can display the number of views, this like culture of, you got to see how many people respond or look at their video. So that may be important to you in engaging your students, or it may not. Just kind of depends upon, again, the situation. And then here, a response title, so allowing the students to add a title in their response. Again, usually I don't have a problem with that. Feedback, you only have basic feedback. You can't do anything else. So basic feedback is responding just as you indicated up here. Okay, with emojis, all right? And then once you're done with that, then you're ready to create your topic. And your topic will be created. You'll get a unique link. You'll press got it. And now here is your topic. Here's that question, okay, that I asked. And then if you go back to your grid, which will be up here in Mr. Pomity's Flipgrid, okay, here is my one grid, and then you can create, as I said, many topics underneath here. You have some options now in your grid. So you can go to Actions, and you can edit your topic. You can view the videos. You can move the topics. Let's say you want to rearrange them if you had multiple topics. You could duplicate this topic. So instead of having to recreate the wheel, you can duplicate it. Maybe there's one or two things you wanted to change. or you could delete the topic. Okay? And then you can also share this topic. Okay, so if you're ready to share it, you could share it in Google Classroom, you could share it on Twitter, Facebook, you could just get the link and share it that way. Okay, so there's a number of options. You can also embed it somewhere, so you get the embed code, or you can use a QR code. So there's a number of ways in which to share this as well, and then you can change it from active to inactive and frozen, all within that grid as well. If you wanted to view it as a student, you could come up here to the top where it says video code. Okay, and you click here, and as you see it says view as student, so I'm going to click on it. And this is what the students would see. So first they would have to type in their password. So if you remember, I created FMS as my password. Type that in and press open. Okay, and then now here's that one Flipgrid that you have them, that you want them to complete. So you're going to click on that, and then they're going to get the plus symbol. And so this is where they would click and they would start this process. And now I don't have my webcam set up, so I'm going to go through this, but you're not going to see my picture. So I'll click on the plus symbol. Okay, typically their picture would be here where it's currently black. If they wanted to type in notes, they could do that with a sticky. They could type in some notes and they could do multiple notes. So you could have multiple things in here. And then once they're ready to record, they'll press the record button here in the middle. And they'll start the recording. They'll do the countdown. They'll record their video. And then once they are done, they can, if they know that they don't like that video, they can immediately put it in the trash and start over. Or if they're ready to continue, they just press this green arrow and it will preview the video in the next screen. Okay, they'll preview it, record their video, and then they're ready to go. If you like the video, then obviously you press that green arrow to move on, and then you come to taking your selfie or taking your picture. So you'd press the capture button here to take your picture, and again, I don't have my webcam set up, so it's got a black screen, but for the purposes of the video, sure. So we take the picture, and now here you have stickers, or you can do drawings, okay, up at the top, and then there's different topics for stickers, or different categories, excuse me. So let's say I wanted to put in a book bag, and we put in that, and then let's put in an apple, sure. So we put that in, and then once they're done decorating their picture, their selfie, then again they're going to press the green arrow, and then it's going to upload, and all they need to do is put in their name, and then they're going to press submit video. I'll press complete, and now their video will show up on that topic. Okay? That is really quickly introduction into how to set up a Flipgrid. And I would love to work with you if you are interested in starting a Flipgrid with your class, or if you've already set one up, I'd love to hear how you're using it with your students. Take care.